Do 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 do. Gonna start in just a second here. Okay. Thanks for coming back, Noob Flights. How a flight school will fail you every time and keep taking your money. The steep turn. Yeah. Hang on a second. Let me get things set up here. It still says Noob Flights. Why? How is that still there? We shouldn't even be seeing it. Aha. There it goes. The steep turn. It's not a lesson in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 yet. And it was a part of Flight Simulator X, but it wasn't a mission. It was in the knowledge base. And it was, the instructor was Rod Machado. And there was a big write-up on it, and then he makes you do it. And I failed it, and I failed it, and I failed it, and I failed it. And then I kind of started getting it. You know, I did it enough to pass. And then I got Dovetail's Flight School. And they had it in there because it's part of the flight school training program. Okay. So after a while, when you start feeling really good about yourself and flying around and how well you're doing, and you're thinking you're going to want to do it for real, and you don't know about the steep turn, well, brothers and sisters, if they don't like you and you haven't practiced it, that's how they're going to get you, and that's how they're going to get your money, and that's how you're going to fail. That's how you're going to fail. And then you have to come back, and you can't argue, and you can't ask for a redo unless you have a really, really kind instructor. But at some point, they're not your friend, and you blew it. So, sorry, come back another time. Cha-ching. All right. We're loaded up and ready to go here, so I'm going to go ahead and hit ready to fly. Now, I can't guarantee I'm even going to be able to do it right. It's the bane of my existence. It really is. If they put a career mode in here where you have to do all your flight school stuff, I'll probably fail it once or twice or more. So, in the training lessons, they want you to be flying straight and level, before you start. So let me get myself. We're flying in Colorado, so let me get my mix set up. I don't have it at auto. So right around there is where you should be. 49. If you press the little silver button with your mouse, you can adjust this a little bit more precisely. So the computer will set it up for 49% here in Colorado. I should have just left it at 50, moved on. Okay, 49%, we got it. So the first thing that the instructors, either Rod Machado or Dovetail Flight School or whatever, okay, fly straight and level. Usually they want you flying at 90 knots. Okay, so let's bleed off some power here. They'll get mad at you too. If you can't maintain what we're going to do at 90 knots, sorry, give us your money, bye-bye. Okay, so hold on, now we're a little too low. So what they want you to do is do a steep turn, and it doesn't sound that scary. Now on our altimeter, well, this thing is leveling itself out, and we're trying to get 90. On our altimeter in the middle here, or whatever, I'm probably not giving it the right name. The attitude indicator, I've been calling it the altimeter. That's the altimeter over here. The attitude indicator. All right, this second line here on either side, they say that's about 45 degrees. or that's what they want you to turn to when doing a steep turn. Now, again, doing a steep turn doesn't seem that scary, but noobs like me tend to just grip the joystick for dear life. And the sensitivities by default in a lot of the flight simulators, including this one, can be there. And you may have to adjust to find your sweet spot. But generally speaking, they say noobs like me and us, we are very heavy-handed on the joystick. So we're supposed to turn the plane over to that, without causing a stall. And we're supposed to hold it there. But if you look at my altimeter now, see, I'm losing height while I'm doing my turn, right? If you can't maintain 100 feet, if you can't hold it perfectly level while you're turning, and manage to keep the nose up so you don't lose any altitude, sorry, bye. Thanks for your money. If you don't believe me, then I will link you at the end of this video to the Rod Machado training videos for the steep turn. And if you have Flight Simulator X, you can do it. But if you don't believe me, there's videos out there on the steep turn and how to master the steep turn. There's plenty of videos out there where everybody's trying to help you get over the steep turn, because it can be very difficult. Not only that, okay, so now we're doing like less than 60. So you're supposed to maintain your turn. You're supposed to try to remain level and have your altitude not move more than 100 feet in either direction. You're supposed to maintain your speed, and then you're supposed to turn out on heading. And when you're in a steep turn, you have to come out of your turn sooner, or you... Whoa, baby. Yeah, I should probably doing this at the altitude they teach it. It's usually like 5,600 feet. You don't want to hear that squeaky little noise. That's your stall warning. That's danger, Will Robinson. Danger. So let's climb back up. And let's talk about that again as we climb to a height where we can try doing this again. So this is where videos that will teach you about the laws of physics and turning a plane. And how when you turn a plane, you're decreasing pressures on wings, and then the weight of things as it's moving, how it has a tendency to want to fall. And then how you have to use your rudder apply a little bit of rudder at the same time. You may have to apply a little bit of rudder at the same time in the opposite direction. So if you have one of those sidewinders joysticks, this can be even a little more strange if you don't have the foot pedals and can practice muscle memory with your feet. Or you're using a keyboard. Oh my gosh. You've got to be able to apply sometimes the right amount of rudder when making a steep turn while gently pulling back on your joystick. And then you may also have to increase speed. So let's go over this again. I want you to fly straight and level. Then I want you to increase a little bit of power. Then I want you to start making your turn. And I want you to hold that while not losing any altitude. And you're already losing altitude. You're done. Give me your money. Thanks. I've got control. And then when you pull up to try to raise the nose up, you're introducing other physics which actually make things worse. And your ability to recover now, it's cascading failures. You can't. You either learn to stick it right and get it right, or it will cascade into failures. So right there, if you just kind of letting the plane do what it wants, now it's rising. So, okay, well, then I've got to adjust the rudder a little bit. In which way? Which way am I going with the rudder? It's a lot to think about. And then like, oh, you missed and you need to turn out on a specific heading. And now we're still not even going the right speed. And when you come out of it, you're supposed to, pull back a little bit on the throttle and, make sure you're still doing 90, pal. And then everybody's going to teach everything like, well, look straight out and you keep the nose right there. You just don't even look at your knobs. Well, that's not what the instructor's telling you to do. He's telling you to pay attention to all your instruments. While this guy's out there, look, just keep your eye focused on the horizon. And maybe after a while when you understand the whole concept of what you're doing, but then you're supposed to be checking your compass to make sure you turn out on time. So it's kind of hard doing what he says. So, and this is going to stress you out. And if you're able to do this right out the gate and you're an ace, you were meant to fly. And you should probably go do it. But I'm probably not going to be that person, and I will continue to keep practicing this until it does become second nature. And they're like, well, Kinneas, you're making it harder than it is. Maybe in a real plane it's not hard. No. Ask somebody who's done it. Then you're going to build up mental barriers to wanting to do it. Well, I'm never going to fly. It's just a simulator. I don't care. And guess what? You and I both know in the back of your mind you can't do it. So you're either going to do it or you're not. And you're going to learn how to do this or you're not. So the only advice I can give you is that sometimes when I try not to overdo it, because again, if you don't just put it in the right spot to begin with and just do it, then it's going to cascade and fail on you anyway. And so I told you right then, our first tendency is as noobs is to just grip the heck out of the joystick. So one way is to just try to relax and just fingertip pressure right there. And at the same time, like you said, pull up gently. I'm not even messing with the throttle, but just barely hold the joystick, and I'm now actually gaining altitude, which is nice. It's normally the other way around. Just a little bit of rudder, and I guess it's the opposite direction rudder. Pull the nose up a little bit. So I'm still moving around a bit, and I don't want to be. It's gonna want to fall, which is lovely because now I'm actually doing what I'm not supposed to be doing and fighting it a little too hard. And I find it easier to do the left. I kind of freak out when I have to rotate it back and try doing this to the right. I don't know what my coordination problem is. I'm still doing pretty good on the 90 knots. But just trying to be very, 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 very gentle. Because now, again, I'm putting a little too much pressure, and she's actually climbing. She should be falling, and I'm picking up too much speed. So I've already blown it. Give me the money. But again, just practicing it and trying to relax. Just trying to relax and not overdo anything. And I'm not looking out at the horizon. I don't care. I'm looking at my gauges. I'm looking at my speed. And again, I can actually pull some speed out now. Sometimes they tell you, well, if you fall too much, maybe you should put a little speed in. Sometimes not. So much stuff to think about and be working on at once. So if you're up to the challenge, flip her over on her side. They're going to make you do it. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And again, if they don't like you, you better be able to do this 100% of the time in your sleep. Yeah, I know I could have done other videos, but it was on my mind, because it's like, well, what video should I do? What video should I do? What would be important to them? Well, I think that kind of qualifies as the one that's going to kill you. And I don't mean physically. I mean your mental, your sanity, your pocketbook. So I would get practicing. Let me end this video and link it once it's finished uploading to the videos I've done on Rod Machado, giving you the steep turn lesson, and I'll even try to link the dovetail flight school lesson on it, and then try it. Thanks for tuning in. I don't know what I'm going to do next. I've got a list here of things I want to do that have really messed with me, or I'm now happy to know, and hopefully you'll be happy to know it too. All right, catch you on the next video. I'm gonna throw up my graphics again, make an ender tag, because then it shows the, that stuff at the end, like it shows your playlist and subscribe and all that. So if I go back up here and I start turning all that stuff on at the end, if you're making videos too, make yourself a little bit of a trailer. Come on, I'm still getting used to all this. That's not right. Don't need Sky Vector. That's on. There it is. Yeah, but I don't need the burn fuel thing up there. Yeah, don't need that up there. It's still there. Go away. There it is. Yeah. So, once you're done ending your video and you're in OBS or whatever you're using, put your stuff back up there, make that little slider move and set that, and then you can run this at the end of your video and check out this video on your playlist and your subscribe now.